Because we live by the coast, we are surrounded by many creatures that we probably are completely unaware of. But lucky for us, we have scientists that will explain exactly what these creepy crawly creatures are. Please welcome Dr. Chuck Blend and Miss Jen McCullough of the Museum of Science and History. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. You're going to show us some fantastic creatures, and I can't wait.
So the starfish, right? Everyone loves our sea stars. They are not fish, despite their name. So the common name now is sea stars, which is more fun. These guys are kind of the Roombas of the sea. So they're crawling along on the sea floor, kind of getting through all of that detritus that's falling down, getting their food out of it and keeping it cleaner.
These are not animals to bring home or creatures to bring home.
Yeah, if you can see that it's sort of still moving and still alive, you can gently place it back in the surf and it'll go on about its business.
We named this one Patrick. And one of the most interesting things about sea stars, my wife loves this, is how they eat. You've ever wondered, how do they eat? Because it looks like just a star. Well, they have a system that's called an ambulacral system. It's a water suction system that helps them move around. They have tiny little tube feet on the bottom. And let's say they find a hapless little mollusk, a little clam or something, and it crawls over it and gently, over time, steadily applies a pull to the valves of the clam, and the clam over time will weaken and open up. Well, great. Now the clam is opened up, but how does it eat? Are you guys ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Sea stars will drop their stomach out of their mouth into the body of the prey item and digest it from the outside in, and then pull their stomach back into their body. Isn't that something?
Wow. Imagine if we ate like that. It would be a sight to see.
So one of our other little sort of seafloor crawly folks, but much more mobile, much faster, are our crabs, our crustaceans. So this one's a little blue crab. Despite the name, it was a blue crab. They tend to lose their color in preservation. And this one's actually a molt. So you can see these little cracks on the top. To grow bigger, crabs molt out of their old shells. So like a snake or a lizard shedding their skin.
Yes.
But these guys are another one that keep all of those little dead animals cleaned up off the seafloor and really just keep that food web, keep that deterioration going.
Good scavengers.
Thank you.
The thing about blue crabs, they swim. And you'll see, as Jen said, pointed out, they're called decapods because they have 10 legs. But the back pair are modified into paddles. And so they can actually swim through water at times with these pinchers. But I think for many people out in the viewing audience here in the coastal bend, they love going to, say, Aransas National Wildlife Refuge. And when you go there, what are you looking for? Those big birds that are famous around here. You're looking for the hooper cranes and the big hooper. And this is a major food item for those endangered whooping cranes.
Really?
It's one of the number one food items. So they're very sensitive to changes in salinity too. So we use these to sort of also gauge the environmental health at times. And remember, if it's got a sponge, you're not allowed to harvest it. So if it has the bottom of the female has a big egg sac in it, a sponge, fishermen are not allowed to harvest it. That's one of the rules in Texas Parks and Wildlife regulations for harvesting crabs.
So these little fish, they're sort of unassuming little fish. People don't usually try and catch them when they're fishing from the pier or from the docks. But these are menhaden, and they live in huge schools out in the Gulf, and they are one of our primary prey fish. Everything eats these guys. Our dolphins, our sharks, our birds, other fish, bigger crabs, everything.
Okay.
So keeping populations, keeping those big schools going is really key to keeping the food chain in the Gulf healthy.
Wow, fascinating. And any way that we can help with that, or we just have to count on them to continue to reproduce and...
So one of them is these guys have been harvested a lot recently because they're a good source of those omega-3 oils that a lot of people are taking as supplements.
These guys are in a family of fish called clupeids, and includes a lot of stuff we're familiar with, shads, herring, things like this. And as Jen said, they are a major food fish.
Not for people.
Not for people, though.
We don't.
they make fish meal out of them, but obviously not for us. But and theirs are very popular in aquariums. A lot of times you can go to aquariums and they'll have some type of copeiid. The copeids sort of have this keel-like belly. It's very deep and is one of the indicators for these types of copeiid fishes, but they're great in the aquarium trade. You put a cylindrical tank, and they, as Jen said, they like to school, and they move around all in the same direction. It's sort of hypnotic. The kids love it. You can go and enjoy seeing these guys swim around. But very important in the lower part of the food chain, feeding many species that are more economically, recreationally important too.
All right. Well, you both taught us a thing or two about the creatures that live in our wonderful seas. I think we all feel a little bit more knowledgeable. I know that I do. Precautions to take, ways to respect our marine life, and things, fun educational things to look out for with their kids when they get bored at the beach. I don't know how that's possible. When it happens, we've got some fun activities we can look for some of the sea life that we learned about. Thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure, and I can't wait to learn more from you next time we visit.
We're happy to help.
Yes.
Nice to see you all again.
A turtle bye?
Oh.